Do you
I
know?
mean, I don't have a great answer on that. I
Okay.
even looked again last night.
Oh,
I
did
was
you
like,
really?
yes. I was like, let me read through this again.
What did you find out?
And so nothing.
Okay.
I didn't get any further. We think we have to come with it all figured out.
Yeah.
And I felt like that many years ago when I took Hannah to VBS. I'm like, oh, I got to have it all figured out before I go back to church. And then God was like, no, you don't. You don't have to have this all figured out. Just come to me.
Hey, New Hope, welcome back to the table where we get to ask questions about religious things, spiritual things, personal things, and we get to bring in people that we enjoy talking to. And so today we have Kylie with us today, and she is new on staff with us. She works with our kids ministry, but I'll let her tell you that. So kind of tell us a little bit who you are, give us a little bit of your bio, so to speak.
Bio.
Yeah.
So I am a mom first, and I have 3 kids in very different stages of life. So from almost graduating college and working to another in college. And then the caboose is in 5th grade and 11. Lots of you guys know her. She'd like to be older than she is. I direct a homeschool group too. And then I'm new on staff at New Hope with the children's ministry and helping in 1st through 5th grade. So elementary.
Yeah, you do a lot.
Yes.
You do a whole lot. Yeah. So I have a question for you.
Sure.
Which one is the easiest to manage? Which one is the hardest to deal with? Is it the co-op group? Is it your kids? Is it the kids that you work with on staff? What is it?
It's all of them. It's a balance of every one of them provides a lot of sanctification for me and probably them too. Probably my kids are probably the hardest at a lot of times too. But, all people take a lot of communication, and so
they do.
Yes.
They do.
Yeah.
So you're new to staff. How long have you been on staff?
Since last July.
Since last July.
Yes.
So
Yes.
what was something that you weren't expecting, when you started on a church staff? Is there anything that you're like, oh, this is different, or you learned, or something you liked, or something you didn't like? It's up to you. But what is it different? Stepping into ministry leadership, how does that change?
There are a lot of doors here at New Hopes. That is one thing. There's a lot of entrances and doors and things. And so learning the layout of something is just, I don't know. I thought I knew the church really well. And I was like, oh, there's a lot of different places behind the stage and stuff. And so learning all of those connections too, of how can the children's ministry connect to production, to communication, to discipleship and missions, and just being intentional of all of the connections too.
Yeah. Did you know that you can climb inside the steeple of the church?
I did not know
yes,
that.
There's a ladder that goes up all the way up inside the steeple.
I'll probably never be doing that.
Yeah.
The roof things were super fascinating too. All the things we store on the roof.
Are you afraid of heights?
No, I just not afraid.
Yeah.
Not interested, but not afraid.
I know that when you take vacation, you always like to stop at the largest whatever.
Yes.
So what's the weirdest stop you've made on vacation?
So we do a lot. I don't like to go to the same place more than once.
Right.
And then we do all kinds of different things. Probably the 2 most unique ones is a cathedral in Georgia. So I think it's Calhoun, north of Atlanta, maybe an hour at the most. And you can walk throughout an entire mosaic cathedral that is 3 feet tall. And then also in Meridian, Mississippi, the graves of the Gypsy Queen and King.
What?
And it's unique. And so, yes, I might have terrified my family in that one. And then one in Arkansas, too, is a third one of the Natural Bridge. They thought they were going to die by the time they came back up. But they didn't, because they're all still here. And that was years ago. So, yes.
Yeah. So it's always an adventure.
Always.
Always
yes.
an adventure.
I love a new adventure.
As a mom with kids in different stages, what's something that parenting has talked to you about that has helped you work with people in the church? What have you learned from that? Is there anything that you're I bring this to the table because of that?
Yeah. So one of my biggest things is that I cannot protect my kids from their testimony. I want to protect them from their testimonies, but I can't. And that every day I can pray that they see the presence of God in every moment, and they see the joy of the Lord, and that all of that draws them to Jesus.
Yeah.
And that I can't. I want to wrap them all in bubbles, not just my kids, but the kids upstairs, the kids, my family, my friends. But I can just continually pray for them in those testimonies too. And then I know, and I have seen faithfully, the Lord use that over and over again.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting, doing ministry before I had kids and then doing ministry after I had kids is a different world. right? Like
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't know. Don't want to say I was naive, but I was naive. Like, you have this, like, a different mentality. You have a different expectation of parents. You have different expectation of kids. Like, you live in like this bubble of
You
perfect world where you
do.
think like, oh, everyone will just do what I want them to do, or
Right?
they'll just, why not? I
Yes.
can't believe, why wouldn't parents do this? And then you have
Right?
kids, and you're like, that's why parents don't do that, because it's a grind.
Yeah, and
It
it's
really is. It's
hard. And
hard. It's
yes.
hard. It's
Yes.
hard. So this week we talked about this moment where Jesus is in the synagogue and he's talking, and he sees this lady who is bent over because she's
Yes.
crippled from this satanic possession, which is a really weird topic. But
Yeah.
like, the thing that really struck me is that Jesus saw her when everyone else seemed to have. Maybe they saw her early on when she started with the problems, but at this point, she just kind of becomes wallpaper,
Yes.
And so I think, like, from your perspective, what have you seen when, like, because you work with kids in different areas,
Mhm.
what happens to a kid that doesn't feel seen? Like, what happens to them?
I mean, it's hard when they don't feel seen. We try to be very intentional upstairs in all of the environments that I work in to go like, hey, let me put this volunteer working with this kid. Or do you see somebody sitting by themselves? Do
Yeah.
you see somebody, wiggling too much? Are they getting up and going to the bathroom 6 times? Like, are you paying attention to that? And so having constant communication with the volunteers of things, just notice. Let's have conversations with all
Yeah.
of the kids. It might just take a kind word that week. We only get them usually that 1 hour a week. And although we do beach club at an elementary school here too, which is another hour we get to connect with kids. And so taking that time to connect with them and really get to know them.
Yeah. Have you, like, have you, like, had conversation, like, how does it affect kids in, like, personally to not be seen, you think? Like, what is their, like, because I think we all understand that. Like, we all have been in that situation. I'm sure you've been in that situation where you felt not
Yes.
seen, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it can feel lonely. It can feel like even God doesn't see me. He doesn't know what is going on in my life. He has no idea what I'm struggling with. He's so far away, and it seems like a foreign concept.
Yeah. I know for me, I remember feeling just like, I remember changing schools in elementary and middle school,
Mhm.
and I remember just feeling like no one was necessarily like super mean to me,
Just not noticed.
but just not noticed, right?
Yes.
And you start to feel like you're just kind of wandering through,
Mhm.
And so I think for me, like, just the fact that Jesus recognized her was probably huge, but then he heals her, which is, only Jesus can do.
Right?
But like, what do you think? Like, how does that? Like, how should we as Christians respond to, like, Jesus sees people that other people don't see? Like, what do you? Like, how do you do that? How do you encourage yourself to, like, make sure you see people?
So part of my testimony is that when my big kids were little, that my son went and played sports at a local church here, and my daughter loved it and wanted to go to be a part of the church. It looked fun. It was great. And so she was not old enough to participate in VBS. So I found another church that she could, and I lied, but you don't have to lie to go to church. It's okay. But I lied to get her into VBS because she was 2 and you had to be 3 to go to that VBS. But I thought that I had walked too far away from the Lord and that I was too far gone and that there was no reason that I needed to go back to church. But I wanted more than anything for my kids to know Jesus. And so I lied to get her to go to VBS. They went to VBS, and we started going to church after that on a Wednesday night that they had food at that church. And so we did that on Wednesday nights. And so the Lord has been very gracious in that and seen that. She's a Christian ministries major in college, and just he's been really faithful in seeing that. So I have a heart for the parents too, of going like, did you walk away from the Lord and you're coming back because you have kids? Is there difficult things going on in your life? Like, my husband and I are very involved in marriage ministry too, and have walked through lots of things. And so we have felt that that is where the Lord called us to do because of those situations too, to go like, yes, this is where I want you to be. You're not too far gone. You can come back, and you've got a place here at home with me. Walk with me again. So,
Yeah.
yes. I try to see the parents as much as I see the kids too.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you, I think for me, like I have selfish eyes sometimes, like where my eyes are so focused on myself that I don't see that other people around me need, like,
Yes.
and not need me as in like they can't survive without me, but like they need interaction with other people who love Jesus.
Yes.
Right. And so it's so easy to be tired and overwhelmed. And I always jokingly like talk about how like like when you desperately sit in your car and let the garage door close because you don't want to have to talk to your neighbors, you know what I'm
Doing a
talking about?
break.
So like, yeah,
Yes.
you don't do, or like you avoid people in the conversations. But like, I think, what would you challenge like a parent to say to make sure that their kids don't go unseen? Like,
I would challenge them to just have conversations, continuing to bring up hard topics, have conversations, not just yes and no answers, and to be in community too, and to find that community. I think that the Lord has gifted me with that, and I try to take that very seriously too. To go like, if you are not in community, let me help you connect with somebody, whether it's my small group, whether it's another group. Are you serving at church? Connect with each other so that the parents and the kids are having those connections too, and naturally able to see some of the needs that are happening too, if they are in community and connection.
yeah, the yes and no question is a big deal. Like I know that, like, how was your day at school today? It was good. Like I had to stop asking those questions
Yes.
because I had to figure out like, how do I engage this kid in conversation? So I would, and then I would also like, I would tee them up before they got out of the car. I would say
Right.
stuff like, if you're walking, this is me. This is not a great parent moment, but I would be like, beat somebody at something today. Like if you're walking down the hall and there's another kid walking, beat him, and then let me know if you wanted something today. And my wife used to hate it because she's like, you're trying to tell our kids to like hurt people. I'm like, no, just win, right?
Win
And
at
so like,
something.
but my reasoning was because I would ask them after they got home, like, hey, did you race anybody today, or did you do anything like that? Because I was trying to create like that ease of conversation.
Yes.
Because I think as parents we think that there are kids it'll always be easy to talk to them, but the older
It's
they
not.
get,
It's hard.
it's harder,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, and so you have to be super intentional about having those
do.
conversations. And I think, I even think maybe the people, if she wasn't unseen, probably the people in the synagogue, they weren't intentional. It wasn't like,
Right? It was easy.
yeah. I think
So-
I think we have a tendency, like we talked about it Sunday, but like some pain is loud, but constant pain is quiet. Like we start to, you really pray for people when they're first diagnosed, but then it's very easy for those people to kind of slip out of
Yes.
scene. And so I think that's what happens to kids too. It's those easy
does.
things. So kind of circling back on that. So I'd love for you to take a few minutes and explain why she was demon possessed.
That was she was. Thanks, Brad.
You're welcome.
Would you like to use your doctorate degree, or Brad's actually my teacher too? Is I'm getting my master's in biblical leadership.
Yeah, if you
we
could
haven't
just-
made it that far
If you could
yet.
just break it down for us and explain why
No problem.
why
Get a few
she
hours.
was demon possessed, and then why it didn't affect her soul but just her body, and then why other times Jesus heals people, he doesn't say they're demon. If you could just
doesn't,
break that down,
right?
that'd be awesome.
I got you. How
Yeah.
long do you have?
Yeah, do you
We'll go
so,
like the rest of the day,
oh,
right?
good. Okay. Can you
Sure.
break down the Greek and the
Yes. Yes.
No, like I think just an honest question, like as Christians, we're so terrified to say out loud that we don't understand everything in the Bible.
Right. We are.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you think
Yeah.
that is? Like why?
I don't know. I think we think we have to come with it all figured out.
Yeah.
And I felt like that many years ago when I took Hannah to VBS. I'm like, oh, I got to have it all figured out before I go back to church. And then like, God was like, no, you don't. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to have this all figured out. Just come to me.
I
Okay.
think-
I will take care of that.
I have to remind myself that like if I could figure out God, he wouldn't be much of a God.
Right.
Right? You know what I'm talking about? Like if I
Yes.
could figure it out, he wouldn't be
No. We
like-
wouldn't need him.
Yeah,
Yes.
no. And so I think it made me laugh just thinking through that because I spent a lot of time trying to figure it out too. And everyone that I read, no one just said straight up, we don't know. Everyone like had their ideas.
Right.
And I
There's
was like,
commentary and
yeah,
opinion on
yeah,
it. And
yeah.
yes.
no, but I was just messing with you.
Yeah.
Maybe unless you do
It's
know.
good.
Do you
I
know?
mean, I don't have a great answer on that. I
Okay.
even looked again last night.
Oh,
I
did
was
you
like,
really?
Yes. I was like, let me read through this again.
What did you find out?
And so nothing.
Okay.
I didn't get any further. So yes.
I mean, it's
No.
obvious that like, it can't, you can't say it wasn't. I mean, he said it
Right. He
clearly.
said it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, I wonder sometimes when I'm sick. So this is my theory.
Okay.
Okay. I think the reason that men sometimes get the man flu is because it's a
Oh,
demon
I mean,
and it's not their
it's
fault.
not their
That's why it's so
fault.
hard for them
I'm
to
not
deal
sure
with
about
it.
that, Breb.
You don't think so?
It's
You know how they
no.
talk about how hard it
Got
is
the
for
same
guys?
thing. I
Yeah.
mean,
So that's what it is.
it
It's a
is
demon
harder
possession.
for guys than women,
Exactly.
as
That's
we
all it
just
is.
keep on going. And
Yeah, I know.
yes, I
Yeah.
try to push out the
Women
beet
don't
juice
have
and
that possession
elderberry,
like
and
men
yes,
do. So that makes sense. Yeah.
right. That's probably it. The demon is worse for the men than the
It
women.
is. It is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a curse we have to carry as men.
Right.
No, back to our real conversation. So honestly though, even with the whole thing is awesome to me that God sees us, that Jesus heals her, that he doesn't just heal her, that he touches her, like he's not afraid, like
He
there's
does.
nothing
Yes.
wrong with her.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? Like
Yes.
he's willing to like, and he's a rabbi, and so he's not supposed to touch people who are
Yes.
sinners or like Jesus doesn't care about any of that, right? And I think that, and then he goes on to tell the parable of the mustard seed, which is really cool that it grows. This giant, tiny little seed grows
Yes,
into a
it's
giant
just
tree,
all over. Yes.
right? And then he
It's
talks about
invasive.
how yeast invades and
Yes.
creates the flower. So, like, I love the idea that it's the small things that we do as Christians that really make an impact.
Yes.
What do you like? What are some small things that you try to do just on a regular basis? Like, what are the things that you like? Okay, like, do you have any things like that?
Well, one of the things that you said yesterday too, and I was like, oh, I really try to do that too. If somebody comes to mind, I try to reach out and text them,
Yeah.
just to take a moment or pick up the phone and call them. I recently learned that it is not okay to do that. That I guess what younger than millennials.
Oh, they
So
don't like phone
that they don't
calls.
like phone calls, you have to text
Yeah.
beforehand and warn somebody that you're going to call them. But I was like, yeah, I'm too old for that. So I said, I'll just pick up the phone and call you or stop by somebody's house. And I know people don't always love, but I'm just like, hey, just saying hi for a minute or leave something on their porch. Just ask the questions, be intentional. I have needed that in my life many times too. And there are people that have poured into me over and over again.
Yeah.
And to try to remember that and go, if you're coming to my mind, like I think the Lord is bringing them to my mind, and try to do that and be intentional
And I
about
think
it.
we think of that as like it's a waste of time, but
It's not.
it's not.
No, it's not.
Have you had those moments in your life where someone texted you or called you
Oh,
and
yes.
it meant the world to you?
Yes,
Yeah.
over and over again. And somebody maybe that I hadn't heard from even a couple years, and they're like, "Oh, I was just thinking about you," and we could have, it might just be a time to catch up too, but it might be a time of need or things too. And so, yes, just trying to be very intentional in conversations.
What do you
with
think
people.
is it like self-loathing or like what is it that you makes us think that the small things we do aren't worthwhile?
That they
Is
don't
it
count?
Yeah.
Yes. I think they just feel insignificant. Like, is that really going to make a difference? Because, like, that person is dealing with a cancer diagnosis, and, like, me calling them is going to be a burden on them when I think most of the time it's not. You don't have to always, provide 5 meals and take their kids and commit to taking them to soccer practice for a whole season. So you can do little things also. It's great to do other stuff too, but it's okay to just take a moment and check on somebody.
Yeah. I think we
Yes.
just have that mentality that like we won't make a difference or we
Right?
won't help, and
But you
I
do.
think that's not exactly. I think God was being very clear. God's clear that like we just need to do like we need to do what's in our power, right? Like we don't always have to. I think we always want the grand gesture. We want to do the things that are big and
Yes.
bold and
Yes.
make a splash and go viral on TikTok. We want to do
Right?
those things,
Yes.
but reality is that the small
It's
things
just a
is
simple
really
thing.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I have one more question for
Sure.
you. What would you say to someone who feels unnoticed right now? Like they're listening to us, they're watching us, and they feel completely unnoticed right now.
So that you're not unnoticed. But if you are feeling that way, try to find somewhere to plug in. Come to the Connect desk if it's here at New Hope. Try something new. Try to step out a little bit. Reach out to somebody, have coffee. Just try to take a step too, if you can,
Yeah.
and to get involved with other people too. And we're called to be in community and be together too, and try to step out and feel that. And that usually everybody is feeling that same way
Yeah.
too. And so it's
Yeah.
usually not just you, it is lots of people feeling that way too. And to be open and vulnerable and honest about it too, and try to say, okay, I'm not feeling noticed here or wherever it is, and to take that step
I
and do
remember
that.
I had a girl come into my office. Her and her mom came in my office when I was doing youth ministry, and she said, the girl was like, Everyone else has best friends here at the youth ministry, and I don't have one." And I was like, "I'm so sorry to hear
Yeah.
that. Like that hurts my heart, right?"
Yes.
I was like, "Well, we're gonna pray about that." And then literally the next day, another girl walked in, and she said, "Everyone in the youth ministry has best
That's good.
friends, and I don't have anybody." And I was like, "Have I got someone to
Yes.
introduce you to, right?" And so
Yes.
they actually became really good friends, and like
That's
they,
fun.
because I think we all need like our people,
Yes.
right? And I think that sometimes it does take a little
Yes.
confidence to step out and
Yeah.
like if you like I tell my kids, if you want to have a good friend, you have to be a
You
good
have to
friend,
be one too.
right?
Yes.
And
To
so
put
I
a little
think
bit
that
forward.
we sometimes we just sit quietly,
Yes.
but the reality is there are tons of people around you who are the same boat
feel-
as you that are looking for a
Yes.
community, looking for a place to be, looking for
Yes.
somewhere. And I love that you said volunteering, because I really do think that it's amazing the difference between just going to a church, no matter where you go to church. If you
Right.
go to church,
Anywhere.
if you go and start volunteering, you will feel connected in a
Yes.
way that's never before, because you have a purpose and you have a reason and you have an opportunity. It's just huge.
It
Yeah,
is,
it
yes.
really
And I
is.
love connecting people with whatever their gifts and talents are, or even if it's just a natural inclination of like, hey, I want to learn more about that
Yeah.
too. And it might not be volunteering in my area, and that's okay too. Or you might not know, like, we need sound people upstairs too.
Oh
And
gosh, yeah.
yes, we need technology to run the computer there. And you might not want to, pour into the Sunday school lesson because you feel a little intimidated, but that's okay. I'll get you like connected in different ways too, and go, let's start here, and finding your place in that too. It
Yeah,
might
there's so
be,
many things
yes,
to do.
all kinds of
Yeah.
things. Yes. And
Well,
lots
thanks
of
for
people.
hanging out
So,
with me.
yeah, it was lots of fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
If they are looking for a way to volunteer, you guys are
yeah,
always
come see
open,
us
right?
upstairs. We are always
Yeah.
open. We'd
You or
love to.
Barbie both would
Yes,
be
we'd
happy
love
to
to
talk
talk
to
to
them.
you. And
Yeah.
yeah, you want to sing on the stage, you want to do the computers, you want to pour into the Sunday school lessons.
Yeah.
We have like some of all of it, costume things for camp and VBS. And
Costume
VBS,
things.
is it right? Like people on the stage and the costumes. Yeah, Brad said he had glow costumes for
I
us
do have
too.
glow stick costumes. I do.
Yes,
So
we're gonna do a glow night, and so we're gonna use glow
yeah.
costumes.
You
And
guys have like a lot of fun
yes,
stuff coming up for
yes,
summer and
we
camp and
do.
everything else. And so,
Yeah,
yeah. Well,
connect.
awesome. Anything
Yeah.
you want to share? Anything that you were thinking about you wanted to say that you didn't say? You don't have to. So
No.
just want to give you the
I think we're
opportunity.
good.
You're good?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Kylie, for hanging out.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week. This coming Sunday, Wayne is preaching, which
Yeah.
we're excited to hear. And then we're going to have Wayne here afterwards to kind of help us
Fun.
break down what he had to say. And so we love that you guys are like looking at this content, and like always, you can comment underneath and ask us questions or let us know what else we can do to make just more connection,
Yes.
right? We're trying to say,
Yes.
hey, let's not just talk about it on Sunday, but how do we do it a little bit more on Wednesdays
Throughout the
too?
week.
So, all right, we love you guys. We'll see you later.
Okay, thanks.